This is another video in the Tracy series of videos. I'll clean up my desk a little bit here from the last video. That was about installing the SSD drives and the various things I did with that. So we've got Tracy's computer booting up quicker now. It's a minute and 15 seconds to 1 minute and 30 seconds as compared to the 3 minute 15 second and 3 minute to 3 minute 24 seconds that we were having before. This video, I want to deal with the cryptographic services problem on this computer. It's causing a lot of sluggishness. Now it's on SSD drives now, so I don't think it's going to be as noticeable as it was on the spinning hard drive, because that was a really slow drive. But it's still, what it does is it engages every so often, and it takes up a lot of CPU utilization and disk utilization and memory. And I was calling it malware, but I don't think that's fair, and I don't think that's correct. I'm turning the computer on now, and let's see. I gotta get you over here, and I neglected to get the stopwatch running, but that's okay. Not worry about that, because that's not what we're really talking about here. So I've done a little bit of Google search and a little bit of reading and such. I don't think it's traditional malware, and in fact I don't think using various virus scanners or malware scanners is going to fix it based upon the search results that I'm getting for this. So I'm going to show you some of those search results and walk you through how I came to the opinion that I currently have. So this computer, when it finishes its boot sequence, it'll pop up with Notepad right there, and that's how we determine the 1 minute 16 to 1 minute 29. And I didn't start that stopwatch properly this time, so just not going to be concerned about that. But I'm going to close Notepad here and then see if I can show you that Cryptographic Services. I think I'm pronouncing it wrong. And let's scroll down to this Windows Processes section, Service Host, Cryptographic Services. I was pronouncing it, but look at those numbers. Those are really high numbers. There is nothing going on right now that should be utilizing that. What this Cryptographic Services does, as I understand it, in the little bit of research that I've done, is that this is a set of tools and codes that software can use to be able to accomplish logins, authentication to programs, to websites, a variety of different functions or services or software or websites can utilize this cryptographic services. But it should not be eating up the processor's time like this. Now these are kind of bouncing around a lot because there's still services loading and unloading, and so that's why the position of this alphabetically sorted column moves up and down. But that cryptographic service, if I click on it, that highlight should move up and down with it when it moves, I think. So there's 39, 52. I mean, this is a lot. Look, these numbers that are showing up here is the bulk of what's the overall utilization in those categories are. It should not be what? Consuming the computer's capabilities like that. That's just craziness. Now, it'll typically settle down after a while, and then it'll stay, there it is, zeros on the CPU, and then it'll start going again. So I was thinking, could this be a bot? Bots are where the bad guys on the internet, bad people on the internet, could be girls too, right? Women, they can compromise computers around the world to do mundane tasks for them, to give them computing power. Now, back in the beginning days of COVID, there was, we called it coronavirus back then, and there was some kind of research going on to where you could volunteer to let your computer be utilized for that research, as they were trying to search something in the human genome, or what was that curly Q biology thing of genetics? I don't know. But anyway, they needed a tremendous amount of computing power for that, and you could go to a website and click on some buttons and let your computer be utilized for that. So I'm wondering if that might have been done on this computer sometime in the past, and maybe that function is misbehaving, or maybe this is the way it's intended to work. Now, that type of botnet, it was also previously utilized by other entities, some of them from the dark web, and they would compromise computers so that they could use botnets to do a cryptocurrency mining, like for Bitcoin and for other cryptocurrencies. There's a cryptocurrency mining thing, and I don't understand how that works, but they earn money by doing these processes. So, and that's legitimate that you could have your computers doing that, but from the dark web, people would compromise computers out there in the world and essentially recruit them or draft them into their own botnets, so that when those computers weren't busy being used by the user, that they could serve these other purposes. So I'm wondering if that has to do with it, because the bad guys on the internet, it seems to me that it would be attractive to them to somehow compromise cryptographic services, because that perhaps would be a place to hide their activity. Now, I don't know. I haven't read this anywhere. I don't know if that's really a thing. I'm just talking off, not quite off the top of my head, because I imagined it earlier this weekend. But maybe this should not be happening. The cryptographic services is running on my computer. My research indicates that it is supposed to be an enabled service, and it is needed by programs and websites and anything that needs to do something that's encrypted, anything with authentication or password or secure websites. That HTTPS probably uses that. So I want to see if I can go show you a little bit of my research. I'm not sure if this carried over okay, but I think I did this research on another computer. So I'm going to go to a new tab here, come over to YouTube Tools, and oops, nope, I don't see that I have that. Oh, here's that folder for Tracy. Yeah, I actually created this folder on one of my other computers in another room. And I did this Google search here. And I looked at the first two results. What do I need to do to fix that? Picture in picture, that bugs me. And then do this. Okay. In Microsoft Windows Cryptographic Service Provider, CSP, is a software library that implements Microsoft Crypto API, Application Programming Interface, something like that. CSPs implement encoding and decoding functions with computer application programs may use, for example, to implement strong user authentication for security emails. So I read through the Wikipedia article. I looked at a couple of these, and so the ones that are towards the top are the ones that Google thinks are most helpful. So cryptographic service high disk usage. Cryptographic services, how do I permanently disable cryptographic services? The answer is you shouldn't, because then the encryption can't happen. Then Cryptographic Services Windows 10. So these there's two of them up here. Actually, just this one that's showing high disk usage. So right click on that and new tab. And this is a question and answer forum on Microsoft. So it's not an official document or notification from Microsoft about this. High usage. Upgraded from Windows 10 1909 to 2004. Ever since I've had high disk usage from Cryptographic. No errors, just running slow. And so then this was dated August 31st, 2020. September 3rd, somebody's asking, was the issue resolved? If any reply is useful to you, please accept it as an answer. Well, there's no reply. There's no reply there. I'm hitting the same issue. Okay, down here, answers. Oops, my scroll mouse is kind of freaking out here. Okay, so suggest you run system file checker. So this is from somebody who doesn't know the answer. They haven't actually done it. They're just making a suggestion. Let us know if this helps. I'm having the same issue after the update. And then come down here more. We have not heard from you in a couple days. Please post back. I'm having the same problem after the update. I'm having the same problem using Windows 10 Home 20H2. x64 build. Ran the scan, found no issues. C drive. I've done that SFC /scan now so many times. Never solved an issue with that. My C drive is an SSD. Crypto service almost always churns. C drive. Resetting service doesn't help for long. Please help. Some programs slow and shutting down, crash, etc. No response. Cryptographic service takes a lot of disk usage after update to 20H2. Halts verification. Okay, so a couple people here reporting this trouble after upgrading to 20H2. The first one here reported this problem after upgrading from 1909 to 2004. This is shaping my idea of what to do that I have not yet described to you. Don't care about that one. Slowing computer down. So right click here. This is from Reddit and new tab. What we really want to see here is somebody that had the problem and solved it. Or suggestions for solving a problem and somebody replying that they solved it. This has become a recent problem on my PC. Service host cryptographic, 99%, 12%. We're having worse than that. I'm going to close this thing about signing into Reddit. Come down here. So cryptographic service can start and stop whenever. It's a sub-process of service host. Generally, this is used when something is using encryption. I wouldn't call 9 to 12% especially high. As for File Explorer, that can be something different. Okay, here's SFC, somebody trying to do that. Found errors, but couldn't fix them. So then I tried reset PC option. This ended up fixing the problem. I tried reset the PC, but other things were broken. So I just reinstalled Windows altogether. This also is forming my opinion of what to do. So it looks like that person had a blue screen of death in a pink color. Interesting. There's no text with that, is there? I don't know why that was there. What is all of this? These just look like a bunch of random posts. I don't understand why they're there. These are all unrelated. Okay, so the thing that interests me, that I'm tempted to do, is to do an upgrade installation of Windows. In this case, it'll be Windows 20H2 from a USB thumb drive. The two that told us that they encountered this problem when they upgraded to 2004 or to 20H2, they didn't tell us if they did the normal in-product upgrade. They probably did, because that would be the normal way to do it. I've been very interested recently about trying to fix Windows operating system problems by upgrading to a new version of software using a thumb drive, booting on the thumb drive, and performing the upgrade. So within the last couple weeks, I've worked with two people, Luis and Greg. Greg? Gary? Greg. Yeah, it's Greg. Because they couldn't upgrade, they had upgrade problems. Luis wasn't able to install any updates, so we just decided to wait on his computer until the expiration of 1909 gets closer in April or May, whenever that is. And Greg, he was unable to upgrade to 20H2. I guess I'm getting a little 5-year mixed up to the two. But anyway, we did not solve the problem for either of them. But we did not get to the point of trying to install the next version of Windows by booting from a thumb drive with that newer version. So that's what I want to do here. This video, where I'm yakking at you right now, is going to be titled in such a way about in regards to fixing the cryptographic services problem and Windows Update failures. I'm not actually going to perform the update in this video. I'm going to start a new video for that because I want that video to be titled on the subject of installing a new Windows version from a thumb drive. So that video is just going to be about that. So I'm gonna break this video here. I've been yakking at you for 17 minutes, and I'm gonna edit on the follow-up, the afterward, meaning that's going to show whether that solved the cryptographic services or not. But I'm not going to actually perform the upgrade in this video. So I'm going to end the recording in a couple seconds, and then I'll be right back with you in this video. But there's another video that's going to exist between there that you'll have to go watch elsewhere separately. That's weird. Okay, ending recording, 3, 2, 1. All right, so there it is. We couldn't install Windows 10. I saw the message somewhere around, I think, 14-minute mark, 16-minute mark. It said it was undoing changes. We couldn't install Windows 10. We set your PC back the way it was right before you started installing Windows 10. The installation failed in the Safe OS phase with an error during apply image operation. I've seen that before, Safe OS phase. I think that was while I was working with Luis or Greg. But this certainly goes to the notion of if there's obvious problems that Windows 10 is not operating right, just do a fresh install or replace the computer. So I think the computer is functional as is for the user. So my intention at the moment is to return it to the user's desk tonight, and then either get a replacement computer or next weekend do a fresh install. I really would like to do a fresh install because I think this computer would run plenty well for her, and it would just, but I have to go through all the setup of all of her stuff. We're going to have to put her onto a new version of Microsoft Office because that Office 2010, I don't think it will authenticate, even though it's the same, well, it's not the same hard drive, but it's the same Windows license. That won't do because I think Microsoft has turned off the authentication servers. That's okay. We can upgrade her to Office 365. Back when I started working with this computer, there was that issue about I thought it was not, I thought it was failing Windows updates. So Windows key update space settings and enter. There's been so many of my intentions on this computer that have failed, but it's all learning lessons, isn't it? View update history. Whole bunch of stuff successfully installed. I don't know what computer it was that I saw that was not installing updates. So the computer's going to work better for her this week, probably just because of the SSD. And I'm going to be eager to see if she senses the improvement. I don't think I'll tell her that I did that. Of course, I installed an SSD in your computer instead of the spinning hard drive. She won't know what that means. So I'm just going to take it back and see if she makes any comment about it running better. There's nothing else for me to do with this, is there? Is that Cryptographic Services still doing its thing? It's got to be, because I haven't done anything to fix it. Do I want to do anything to fix it? No, I don't. Because the only thing that I know to do to fix it is to reinstall Windows. And that failed. Is that Cryptographic Services way up there in the stratosphere? There's no way it should be that high. Let's take a look at appwiz.cpl, if it'll ever respond to my Windows key R. I'm going to go hide that that clock thing. Stopwatch. Just never can remember that word right, huh? All right, so let's try Windows key R again. Wait for it. Wow. What if it's running worse? What if I've broken it worse? And then appwiz.cpl stands for Control Panel, Application Wizard Control Panel. That Cryptographic Services is just causing a lot of problem. Light Scribe Control Panel, that's what that was. I want to look through this list and see if there's anything of obvious culprit, because I don't think I've done that on this computer. No, none of that is problematic. Take a look at installed updates. Currently got updates paused. Well, that's interesting that there's only one update showing in here. Updates are paused. Let's look at Windows key R and then services.msc. So now I'm thinking when she was saying that when she would go from one screen to another within CheiroTouch, she was saying it would be sluggish, and I was thinking that's probably because of the server, but now I don't think so. I think it's that Cryptographic Services, because it slows down anything that she does. So here's Cryptographic Services. Provides 3 management services: catalog database service, which confirms the signatures of Windows files and allows new programs to be installed; protected root service, which adds and removes trusted root certificate authority certificates from this computer; and automatic root certificate update service, which retrieves root certificates from Windows Update and enables scenarios such as SSL. If this service is stopped, these management services will not function properly. If this service is disabled, any services that explicitly depend on it will fail to start. So a lot of that is internet related. But it's clearly overrunning. Failures. First failure, restart the service. Second failure, take no action, no action. Reset fail count after 1 day. Enable actions with stop errors. I don't see anything there that I could do anything with. I'm in here thinking, looking to see if there's any, like if I could put any limitations on it. Oh, here's an idea. How about right-click Task Manager, come down to Cryptographic Services, expand it, right-click on the service. No, I don't want to do any of those. What is Open Services? Oh, opens the services.msc. Don't need that. So I'll go to this parent level, right click. Resource values, this just tells us how to display the values. Go to details, open file location, search online, and properties. Let's look at properties, digital signatures. What is that date? 2019. Security, details, previous versions. Nothing there. Provide feedback, create dump file, go to details. Yeah, that takes us to to that item in the details tab. Let's do that. So here it's SVC host. Right click on that. There's a priority setting. It's normal. What happens if I set priority to low? Meaning it has low priority so that other things the user is doing takes higher priority. How about affinity? I think that has to do with selecting processors, yeah. Analyze weight chain. Don't know anything about that. Dump file, file location, properties. Let's look at file location. There's some CPU numbers. Now, see, if I set it to low priority, I think those numbers should never get that high. Well, that's just the location of SVC host. So if I set priority to low, is that priority low for SVC host everywhere that SVC host is used? Or is that just for this cryptographic services? So does this, yeah, this item doesn't anywhere specify that it's cryptographic services. All right, so let's see what happens if I try to set it to low. Okay. I'm going to minimize that window and then try doing some other stuff. Word comes up quickly. Windows key R comes up quickly. Windows key, that comes up quickly. Windows key E, that comes up quickly. Right click on which? That one. Yeah, other things sure seem responsive now. Let's come back here and have a look. There's 12%. Let's go down to Cryptographic Services and just wait and see if that number goes up again. Now that priority might change when I restart the computer. So I'm going to shut it down, take it over to her desk, and I might have to go set that priority again. I'm not connected to the internet. So I'm just wondering if this is going to make a difference to going to secure websites. Yeah. So let's connect to the internet. There's crypto. Not seeing any numbers yet. There's some numbers. 32, 42, 44, 42, 41, 39. So while that's running, can I do stuff? Let's see if I can do stuff while that's running. Yeah, I can. Google Chrome. Let's do office.com. Oops, wrong keyboard. And that is a secure HTTPS. It went to it just fine. 7:15, 19, 13. Yeah, I'm going to try this. This could be something. So the way I got to that was right click here and then go to the details tab and find where it's highlighted. Right click that and set priority to low. That seemed helpful. All right. So that's what I'm going to try. Shut down and take that computer back to the client's desk this evening. And I'm not going to be staying up late tonight. That's always a good day. All right, so, wow. I announced intentions at the beginning of each of these videos in the Tracy list, view list, watch list. Yeah, there's again my memory playlist. This will be called a Tracy playlist, something like that. So many of these videos I did for Tracy's computer, I declared my intentions at the beginning of the video, and it didn't work out that way at all. That's the real world of a computer technician, particularly one who is stubborn, wanting to fix the problem rather than wipe and reload. And if it was just me charging my time to a client, yeah, I would have done that a long time ago on this computer. Except that's not always been the case. Sometimes I just get fascinated by a problem, and I will dump hours and hours and hours way beyond what I can ever charge. And what I wind up doing is charging my client what I would have charged if I had just done it, made the proper business decision at the beginning, instead of trying to find the technical solution. Most of the time it's just not worth chasing it out. But that's part of why I wanted to do these YouTube videos, because I think that's going to make it justifiable. I don't think there will be people who will enjoy seeing what happens when you try to fix the problem, and how many times are you successful and how many times do you fail. And who was it? I think it wasn't Alexander Graham Bell. It was the guy that did the light bulb. Come on, you know. He figured out 1,000 ways for a light bulb to fail. Not a bad example to follow. If you would like to request a free computer support session with me, send an email to DougBetts@LiveWindowsTraining.com. Give me an idea in the body of the email what you would like help with. Don't have to go into a lot of detail. And we'll put it together. So I hope this video was useful to you. Have a great day. Catch you later. Goodbye.